My name is Michael Gilmour, and I'm the writer of Whizbang's blog. And it is fantastic to have Eric Lyon here with me, who is the founder of Scorpion Agency and one of the moderators of NamePros, amongst many other things. Hi, Eric. How are you going?
I'm doing pretty good. How about you?
Really good. I just wish it wasn't as cold here in Melbourne, Australia. We just got a cold snap. And the cold snaps are, how can I put it? For some people, it's not that cold. So we're at about, I think, 15 degrees Celsius. So that's like 60 or something like that, or 55 or whatever it is.
That's about what I keep my air conditioner at.
Yeah, exactly.
Some summers here.
Yeah. So, Eric, you're based in Houston, is that right?
Yes, that's correct. Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas, the place of wonderful ribs, great traffic, and Tom Hanks's famous line of "Houston, we've got a problem."
That's right. In traffic jams.
And traffic jams, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being there a number of years ago, Eric, and it was like spaghetti. Those freeways and stuff like that. It was incredible.
Yeah, they can get pretty bumper to bumper. We try to avoid rush hour at all costs, and we schedule our shopping trips in between.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Unbelievable. But you know what? A lot of people, they see you at the different conferences. Like I know you were at NamesCon, and
Right.
they may want to know, like, who is this guy? He's wearing a hat and got his biker jacket on, that sort of stuff. But who is this guy, and how did he get into the domain industry? So tell us a few things about yourself. So whereabouts you were born?
I was born in Portland, Maine, but my family traveled a lot.
Yeah.
So I was really raised there. I've been to every state in the United States. I've been to all the territories of Canada and almost all throughout Mexico.
Have you got down to Australia, though?
What's that?
Have you got to Australia?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Well, you're going to have to come down here. So how did you get into the domain industry?
Okay, basically, I bought my first domain, which was scorpionagency.ws. See, I didn't know any better at the time. Yeah. I got on that, I don't even remember the company name. It was Global something, but they were in control of the .ws at the time before it was redistributed. So I bought one of those, started my first website to bring my hand sketches and design work online. I did that for about 6 months. Then I started learning more on NamePros as a ghost. I didn't even log in and sign up yet. So I was just reading other people's things, and I bought scorpionagency.com. Yeah. And that was right around 2005, I want to say, just before. So, yeah.
So and like
from there, uphill stream. I started buying more, getting more domains that were related to my niche, and using those as doorways and lead generators.
Fantastic. So you just continue to sort of participate on NamePros and just growing your own domain portfolio?
Correct. Around 2009, I finally signed up for NamePros, and that's when I started collaborating with everybody, asking the questions and not just reading anymore because I wasn't finding the right answers. So I actually had to jump in, get my hands dirty, and ask. So I did. And it just grew from there.
Yeah, a lot of people, I think, that they don't realize that just how important those forums are. Forums like NamePros have really disseminated so much information, really valuable information to new entrants into the industry.
That's right. I totally agree.
Yeah, and more than that is that there's a lot of really good people on NamePros. I know I publish a lot of my articles on NamePros, give people like a lead in and that sort of stuff. And there's been some very interesting discussions of on the articles, and I really enjoyed engaging with a lot of the members there.
Absolutely, and they come from all different walks of life too, and from all over the world. So yes. There's a lot of culture there.
Yeah, I remember I was having a discussion with a guy from Germany, and he had a completely different view on the topic compared to, say, someone from the US. I can't remember what the topic was, and it was actually really quite refreshing. And my view is there's no wrong answer in this industry. It's more, how much do you want to learn?
Right, exactly.
Yes.
completely. I
So,
think you froze up a little there.
oh, sorry about that. Yeah, so I got to ask the question, what's it like being a moderator on NamePros? And what does that involve?
That involves anywhere from 8 to 16 hour days
Oh my
of
gosh. Yeah.
getting down deep into the back of the problems. Um, I used to participate a lot more than I do now as far as engagement. Nowadays, I have my hands so full with just trying to mediate, you know, in direct message, where people are starting to have issues with each other in the marketplace. So they just need someone to step in and help them through the process. Some of them are new. They don't know how to transfer a domain. And you just have to get in there and help them out. So that takes up most of my day right there. And then, of course, we have to deal with a lot of the spam, a lot of the people trying to make duplicate accounts, which we catch pretty quick.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of spam?
We used to, but we have a lot of things in place now that blocks most of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I must admit, one of the biggest issues with ParkLogic, my company, is getting spam account applications. And we
Right.
used to get hundreds, hundreds and hundreds per day when we put a lot of things in place and that sort of stuff. So nowadays, it's like the only way someone can get an account with us is if I personally approve them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because
Great.
it's the ultimate way of just making sure everything is good
Right.
and you're dealing with good people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think the value of a forum is really hinges upon the quality of the people that participate. And my impression is,
On that. I'm 50-50 on that because, like I said, from all walks of life there. And when you talk about quality, you can't really put quality on someone who's just learning right off the bat, regardless of what industry they came from.
yeah,
But some it's a little harder to grasp. I mean, we have a lot of members that didn't graduate high school,
yeah.
and they're just starting out trying to make a little money online, and this is what they chose. So, yeah, it's a process. That's why I can't group it all in to one side. Everybody's there.
The thing I love about the domain industry, though, is those newbies as such. They have a fresh perspective. That
Yes.
they come in and they have different ideas of how they're going to make money from domain names.
Well,
And
a
some of them are
thousand.
completely crazy.
Yeah.
Sorry, and some of them are completely crazy. Others are like, yeah, that's a really interesting idea, and it causes you to reevaluate your own thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, do you have any? Can you share any war stories or anything like that, or you're probably gagged? Or
War stories? Are you talking war stories in general from the streets? War stories from the domain industry.
how about the domain industry? Let's start there.
The domain industry, war stories. I can't really share too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't disclose most things that happen behind the doors, and those would be the best war stories. But yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, I'm in a similar way. There's been a number of times where I've written an article and I've looked at it and I said, I can't write that. So it can go in the drawer somewhere. That'll go
Yeah.
into memoirs in about 20 years' time. Yeah, but it's a very interesting industry. I find it attracts some individuals which you think, wow, what rock did they climb out from underneath? To people who are just fantastic. Yeah, but I
Yep.
think that the important thing is to treat everyone with respect.
Absolutely. It goes a long way.
Yeah, it really does go a long way. So,
We're all human. Yeah.
sorry, was that?
We're all human, right?
Exactly. It's interesting. I just recently had real problems with my ISP, and I wrote
Yeah.
an article on that, and it was just driving me crazy, like seriously driving me crazy. And uh, like I'm normally very, very patient, even with a large corporate like this ISP is a massive corporation, and but something just went off my head last night. I thought, oh, I've had enough of this. Hence, I wrote an article on it. But so we're all human, but you know what? So some corporations need to learn that, you know what? us people on the internet have very loud voices, and we're no longer just tiny individuals they can squish. And I think that's one of the powers of domain names, is that we can have as big a presence as even Coca-Cola, as an example. And some of these individuals have massive amounts of internet traffic. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
yeah, and for the first time, I think the people have a voice.
They do.
Yeah, and that voice is through domain names.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, people can express themselves any way they want with a domain, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so here's a question. So some people get, when they see you at Names.com, they think, oh my gosh, we got a biker in our midst and all that sort of stuff. And they're a bit intimidated by your leather jacket and all that sort of stuff, and your tough look. But the reality is you're a softie underneath, aren't you?
Deep down, I think that's why my wife married me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so what do you say to people that may be a bit worried about talking to you at a conference?
There's not really much to say. I mean, if somebody, I don't know how to put it politely. I guess if somebody can't reach out and understand that everybody's different,
Yeah,
and everybody's got their own personality, and not everybody's bad, then that's a flaw in their own life. And that's something they need to fix. I don't need to go fix that for them. That just adds more drama for
yeah.
me. So if they can't accept me for who I am, then sorry.
I completely agree with you.
Missed out on an opportunity.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think that one of the interesting things is it's now become a brand, and that this is your brand out there, and people know you um, for who you
That's right.
are and the way you look. For instance, with me, I always wear this jacket if I do any interviews or anything like that,
Right.
because that's my brand. Yeah,
Exactly.
and it's as much a part of who you are, or who I am in my case, as a part of your marketing of Eric Lyon and what you do. So moving on from domains, what does Scorpion Agency do?
Scorpion Agency is in the design and brand management business.
Okay.
Okay. As far as design goes, we can do anything from a range of your logo brand or a mascot, illustrations, caricatures, cartoons. Matter of fact, in the domain industry, some people have already seen some of the cartoons that I published about domains. Right. The NamePros comics. Have you seen those?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. So we do all sorts of things in that sector. That's our main focus. Now, where we kick it up a notch, we can also, in the brand management side, help take care of and structure marketing campaigns or brand campaigns or making people a personality.
Yeah, do you typically work with local businesses or businesses all over the world?
Mainly bring on clients from all over the world.
Yeah, and how long have you been doing that
2005,
for?
absolutely. Right there. Well, it's a
Oh,
family
wow.
operation, so we don't
Yeah,
want
so
to stay close and
that's a long
personal,
time in this
one-on-one.
industry doing that. Yeah, because I must admit, like, what they say, most small businesses fail in the first like 12 months, and then, uh, yeah. So if you had any advice for, say, new domain owners, yeah, coming back to domains, what would that be?
Besides the typical research.
Yeah.
That's number one right there. I think that everybody needs, besides the research, to start with what they know. If they don't start with what they know, it's going to make the research harder. They're not going to be able to present the way they can when it's somebody they know. I used an example before with coffee. Like my wife, she was at Starbucks and a manager there for about 10 years. So if you come from a background with coffee, you're going to want to invest in the coffee niche because you already know about it. You know about the coffee shops, what people are looking for, what they want, what the slang is, and everything to go with it. So that's where you start. You focus on it. Invest in a couple. See how it goes. Then expand. And then once you wrap your whole identity around that brand, you can think about expanding, branching out. Use that as the mothership to fund your other investments.
Yeah, I think that's a really good piece of advice, uh, and obviously comes from many years of experience, and also dealing with a lot of newcomers to the industry through NamePros.
It's from a lot of reading. A lot of reading from a lot of the members that participate on NamePros, and it just all comes at you and it soaks in left and right. Some retains and the rest slips out, and you got to go read it again just to try to get it back.
Yeah, so long established people in the industry, what would you say to those people?
Long established people in the
Yeah,
industry,
yeah.
they're obviously already doing something right, right?
Yeah.
I would say open up your hearts. Don't close the doors.
Yeah.
Understand that you were new once too, and maybe give a little back. Maybe in your spare time, answer some questions, engage a little bit more.
I couldn't agree with you more. Like, I must admit, one of the reasons why I write my blog is giving back to this fantastic industry.
Right.
And trust me, it's not a great big massive money earner for me or anything like that, but it's about how can I contribute back to the industry and give something to all those people out there, and that's really what I'm after.
That's excellent. I love reading your blog.
Thank you for that. It's funny, you know, I could write some technical analysis, like I wrote one recently on Right Side as a company, and I get no comments or something like that, or feedback. But then I'll write my Saturday musings. I typically get lots of emails. People that don't like commenting as such, but they get emails and Skype messages and things like that or whatever.
Excellent.
Yeah, which is really good. Can I just say, Eric, at times right now, it's been wonderful actually talking with you. And I really hope that people get to know you and your genuine heart that you have, not only for domains, but for the whole entire industry.